Can we talk about that?
Fucking horse.
There's some weird noises in the studio tonight, folks. But we're here for episode 31. Now, give me back on the horse. What's your 31?
Number 31?
Number 31.
Have we started?
Yeah, we're started. We're on.
Yes. I thought, we got out of
G'day,
having to do
mates.
that every time.
Did you? You don't want to do that?
Well, I don't know. We haven't done it the last few times. I thought you'd forgotten about it.
No, 30 was Steph Curry.
We talked about Steph Curry.
Did we? 31. 3 plus 1 is 4.
Is it?
4 minus...
No, you got nothing.
It's the
the number of days in the maximum of a month.
It's the number of flavours at Baskin Robbins.
True. Yes. Well done. Yes.
Remember Baskin?
I stole that off Ben. He told me that in the car on the way.
Remember Baskin? We used to work near Baskin.
What happened?
We had a very small office with only one toilet.
So much that we had a poo warning system.
I'm a very nervous pooer, and I do not like pooing in this office.
You don't like pooing anywhere but home.
I used to go down the road, across the road, and shit in Baskin Robbins toilet. And I'd text Scoot, I'd be like, I'm at Baskin's. I gotta go Baskin's.
We used to have the poo warning. I was telling the boys about this the other day, the poo warning system. Because we developed, this
is when we were sharing an office with you.
Yeah.
And you remember you had Jenny working for you?
Jenny.
Microwave Jenny? She was working. Microwave Jenny was working for you, and this other guy we work with, Fub. We had this system where if you were going to take a shit, you had to warn everyone else in the office because it gave them a chance to do a quick wee before you took a shit and wrecked the toilet. So you'd just go, "Hey, Scoot, poo warning," and Scoot knew, okay, I'll go. Yeah. And we convinced Bub that we had got Jenny, your admin person. We'd got Jenny in on poo warning, and we were hoping that he would just come up from his office one day and go, "Jenny, poo warning."
We had a CCTV camera where we had the cameras between his office and ours, and we staged it. We just went in and just said something else, like we said, "No, we do poo warnings with her. We do."
Yeah, watch Scoot's about to do one.
Scoot's about to do one, and then "Oh, g'day, Jenny, how's it going? Yeah, cool. Yeah,
and we'd be pointing. How are you, Jenny?
Anyway. He never did it though, did he?
No, he didn't believe us. He was right to be gun shy. We played some pranks on him. Yeah. There was the time he left KFC in the fridge, and he covered it with Glad wrap. So and it said Fub's KFC, do not eat or something. So we ate it. And we took a photo of the three of us eating it, and then we printed out that photo, we put it on the plate, and we covered it back up with Glad wrap, and we wrote "suck shit" on it, and put that back in the fridge.
Poor old Fub.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's 31.
31.
Baskin and Robbins. Yeah. So what's been going on? Mother's Day? How'd you go? You had a lunch and an anniversary or something? Yeah.
My wife was quite sick, so we just made her waffles for brekkie and made her some lunch and did
waffle stomp
all else.
Waffle stomp.
Not a waffle stomp. No.
Made her a waffle stomp for lunch.
I will say the other thing.
Kids.
Had my parents' 50th wedding anniversary on the weekend. 50 years, Lynn and Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Actually, your mum...
They're not allowed to listen to the potty.
Can I talk about your mum's gutters for a second? I don't know, did this get cut in the first episode?
Yes, it did.
We haven't even heard the first part of this because it was so... It went down such an unfortunate road, which I didn't want it to go down. Which you took it down.
Me?
No,
wasn't
Jiggles.
me.
I did. I was learning what was and wasn't appropriate on a podcast in the first segment of episode 1.
Yeah.
I unleashed.
Anyway, I let
maggot.
the little innuendo out there just so we could all have a silent giggle about it. But then he's just driven hard at it and spelt it out and then gone further. Anyway, what I was trying to say in episode 1 was I wanted to talk about your mum's gutters, and that was going to be a little bit funny. It was just going to work around that, and then we're going to carry on with what I was actually going to say, which was it really annoys me driving past her house how the gutter, I've obviously had some of the gutter repaired or something, and they're two different colours. The paint on the gutters, like it's dark grey for most of it. Then there's like a metre and a half that's like a light grey, quite a different grey.
Right.
And I don't know, they've refused to sort it out.
Every time I tell her that you bring it up, she says, "Can you send him round to paint it?"
To do it.
But I looked at it just the other day. I think it's fixed.
No, it's not.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, unless the rest of it's weathered to the same colour, it
I don't
hasn't
know.
been
I couldn't
painted.
see the difference.
Maybe it was.
We'll check it out. Episode 32. We'll come back with a definitive
Answer.
Gutter
Just
update.
for everyone.
Can you
Gutter update,
Hey.
yeah.
Can you define that? Definitive.
It's out there waiting for a mate.
Yeah, just
video.
waiting for a mate.
Are you a
or are
federal
you not
officer of the
federal
law?
officer of the law?
You're not. I'll be on my way.
I'm actually a state police. Oh, I'll be on my way.
And you did clean the gutters here, though.
I did. I got on the roof.
No snakes?
Well, I have reason to believe there's a snake in this
Somewhere
studio
in
right
here.
now.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of a look, but I can't see how there's not, because last episode, remember we had the big news of the fallen tree
Yep.
across the front of the studio.
Yeah.
Kept us out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, kept us out. Anyway,
What's happened?
then remember we finally got access again, and the tree was kind of after the tree was on, and then we saw that animal feces, and you are a specialist in animal feces, and you go like, that's snake shit, yeah, and then you're like, oh look, because the fur, the
He
rat
had
fur.
another one today.
And then
There
remember
was-
the bush turkey shit that you diagnosed on
there
TV.
was shit on Scoot's dog. He's like, that's bush turkey shit.
It is too.
Hey, how do you know?
Because I saw a bush
He said, I
turkey
can
out-
tell. It's just the taste. Like,
Yeah, it's just the taste, yeah. But so because I don't know how a snake could get in here because it's pretty sealed tight.
Yeah.
But because what I think's happened is that the tree was hanging over the roller doors, and then because the tree was there, it could get over the roller door and then drop down. But it couldn't get out.
No,
There's
it's
way
still
it
in
could
here.
get out.
No, it's locked up. Yeah.
It has to be in here somewhere.
We heard some noises here
Yeah.
before because I saw that snake today. I sent you the
Yeah.
video of.
So there's definitely a snake in here. Anyway, but
Yeah.
I cleaned out the gutters. I had like 4 fig trees growing in there. They were getting quite a big size. So, yeah. But
Yes.
there's definitely a snake in here.
Yeah.
the fuck are you doing?
Nothing. Look at that!
And something was moving there before those little, and the aircon's not on, so those things were waving.
Moving by themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So something's, yeah. Anyway, all right. So what about you guys? You catching up? What have you been doing? Not much, just that.
I should really think about these things before we go to air. Like what I've done in the last little while. Yeah, we did.
Not
I
much.
cleaned the gutters.
Clean the gutters. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You've already talked about that. Think of something. You're talking about your hat.
We can also start this whenever. Like, like we can wait and then hit record when you're ready to go.
No, some stuff's happened. I feel like.
Yeah, what's going on with your hat?
Oh, my hat.
Yes.
Thanks for getting me out of that one.
I did already say
the
that.
Pizza Hut hat.
This is awful.
This is actually because I went to Pizza Hut, at
Right.
Browns Plains. Check
Right.
it out, everyone.
Brown
because
stains.
It's the last remaining Pizza Hut in Brisbane that you can have the works or you can eat thing. It's
Oh,
it's
that's
so good.
Did they have
Still
a
got
dessert
it.
bar?
They have the dessert bar, yeah.
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
I'll take the kids there for my
it's
birthday. Is
great.
it in danger of closing?
It's pretty popular because
Will it be there in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
that's
good.
Birthday dinner.
Cool.
Sorted.
What day of the week are you going?
What's the 6th of June?
I don't know.
Should we ask Siri?
I think it's a Wednesday
Hey Siri, what day of the week is the 6th of June?
or a Thursday.
You
Still
could have
got your calendar.
read it out loud. That would have been good content. It's Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Well,
why do you ask that?
I just recommend, like, this is counterintuitive, but I recommend going on a busy
When it's
night
busy, yeah.
because the
You've said
turnover of
this on-
pizzas is
you've
great.
said this on the potty before.
Oh, have I? Repeated content. But no, the pizza turnover is good because
What about Thursday? Late night shopping.
you might be all right. You just have to wait for like
What about the fact that you can't eat that much pizza and you could just get a large pizza and...
you got to get the variety.
Do they have a dessert bar?
Yeah,
Because I was showing
you
my
just
kids...
asked that literally.
I didn't hear the
Everyone
answer.
rewind that.
More RPC.
Rewind about 30 seconds.
Was the answer yes, though? 'Cause
Yes.
I didn't listen. Because I was showing my kids photos of the Sizzler dessert bar
It's not as
on
good
the
as that.
weekend because they missed out by not having like Sizzler
Yeah.
and shit. I told them about the time I vomited in the Sizzler toilets when I was a kid.
Remember
I ate
that
too
person
much.
vomited in the Sizzler toilet trough, and it clogged it up, and then the piss all backed up, and then I was the one who had to go clean it
Waffle
when we
stop.
worked there.
That is a waffles.
Yeah, it was like an
Really?
apple juice.
Oh,
Did you get a salad
gross.
bar for it?
Hey, they gave me a free salad bar for
That was getting the rat out of the ceiling.
Yeah, yeah. But back to the pizza.
I told that story. I was on the 100 with Andy Lee,
Ah, yes.
and I
yes.
told that
You and your
story live on air, and I just claimed it was me because it was funnier if I said it was me, not my mate Scott.
Yeah, no one knows, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So,
my pizza
yeah,
turn
pizza,
up. You
yeah.
want that? Yeah. So anyway, we were there with the boys and just
The boys.
and yeah, they were all wearing these hats, the staff, and I was like, I really want one of those hats. And so I asked the question. I said, is there any way I can buy one of those hats?
Yeah.
And he said, no, but I'll meet you in 5 minutes. And he's
In the
like, he
car
lowered
park?
his voice.
In the
He
toilet.
didn't say car park. I would have liked it if he said car park or toilet. He says, no, we can't. We're not allowed to give them out. But I'll meet you soon. I was okay. And then he came up to my table later, like with it all kind of like folded and like in his under his jacket, and then like give it to me behind like a foot
good's
pass
that?
to me. Yeah, and I was
What a
like,
legend.
Like from out the back?
Yeah,
like
you got one from
freshie?
out the back. Yeah, freshie.
Did he want money to then
No.
go and spend on weed?
no, he was fine about it. No, it was all good.
That's great.
But yeah, no, all you can pizza hut's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. So we're covering sports.
Sports wrap.
Yeah, bit of sports wrap. Now, the Magic round's on this weekend. Thursday night's actually the first women's State of Origin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then
good.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be all 8 games here in Brizzy.
All right, go
Yeah,
again.
cool.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Did you say
There's all 8 games at Suncorp.
8 games of the women's state of origin?
No. State of Origin.
And yet I'm in trouble for missing the dessert bar thing.
rewind it. Yeah.
You're sharp as a bowling ball.
Okay, so there's 2 separate statements without a comma between
Yes.
them. Was it the women's
No.
state of origins on? Yeah, all 8 games are on.
Then Friday,
Then-
Saturday, Sunday. I said
separate
that.
to that.
I think he
Rewind,
said,
yeah.
rewind it. He said the women's state of origin is the curtain raiser on the Thursday.
I don't need valid.
And then
Did you
all
say
8
curtain raiser?
games.
I don't need. No.
He didn't?
No, I didn't say curtain.
We'll
raiser.
rewind that too. He didn't say that.
Fucking hell. Let's just move on. Anyway, ladies' game, Thursday, State of Origin,
Yep.
and they're having 3 game series this year, not 2.
Which makes sense.
I know. Last year they had 2
Either have
games.
1 or 3. Don't have 2.
They had 2 last year. It was stupid. And Queensland won it, but they lost the second game, but they won on aggregate.
Yeah, you can't do aggregate.
Stupid. So, yeah.
No.
You can't be
aggro.
celebrating losing a game
Yeah.
Yeah.
and winning, you know.
And
I don't even like how they lift the trophy at the end of the men's series. Like they win it in 2.
Well, they should raise the trophy.
and then they
there.
lose they raise the trophy then.
yeah.
Because I hate it when they lose game 3, but then they have to be all excited. They were excited when they won it the week before.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Or the month before
Yeah.
or whatever.
When's
it
the
is, 3
women's?
weeks.
I mean the men's, sorry.
Fridays.
Stadium.
Oh, State of Origin. Oh.
It's around June.
Don't maybe
Yeah.
rewind it
June,
again.
June 10. It's usually just after my birthday, I think.
Yeah.
It's around
Yeah.
June 10 or
A
something.
few
Well,
weeks.
happy
Yeah.
birthday. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, it reminded me of
Wednesday, so June
Jigs has got a birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Just in case we
June the
didn't get
6th.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm getting.
Golf clubs.
I have
Oh.
booked in.
Oh, yes. Okay. This will
I've
be good.
booked
Let's talk
in-
about the golf clubs.
I've booked in a golf fitting for Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting fitted for some new clubs.
Nice.
I haven't had new clubs in my last set was my brother's hand-me-down, so I don't
Yeah,
think
wow.
I've had new clubs for
Well, that's
in
good.
20 years.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, so I got some new clubs a little while back.
New?
No, second-hand, but
Old?
not
Quite
that old. No,
Nah, they're
from
pretty old.
Dave. No, from Dave. Second.
a
I'll have to
little
ask
bit
Dave the history of them. I have to ask Dave the history.
Oh, yes. I know these
Anyway,
ones.
and
yes.
they've got graphite shafts.
Yeah.
And then, I've never heard the end of, I'll tone it down for the podcast. What would you
No,
say?
get into it.
No, I can't say some of the things he said.
I think what happened was
Oh.
he asked me for advice. Should I get these? And I gave him my advice,
Your advice,
which he
yeah.
then ignored.
Which was derogatory, not to
Wasn't
not just
derogatory,
me,
it was
but also
sound
women.
advice. No, I
You
said...
say, they're girls' shaft.
No, I said
No.
with your swing speed, I would not get graphite shafts because they're flimsier. And with your swing speed, you'll swing it too fast and they'll be whippy.
I've got a slow swing speed.
No, you don't.
Okay, but
think you
anyway,
do, you just
but
don't.
you never heard the end of it.
I remember,
Yeah.
yes.
Does your husband play? Like all that sort of stuff. Whenever they
I've
bring up
never
the
said
graphite shaft. Yeah.
Graphite shafts are...
Where's your handbag?
Traditionally, graphite
where's your
shafts
handbag?
were in women's clubs and
Seniors.
clubs
Yes.
because they swing it slower and the whippiness
Yes.
gives them a bit more
of,
distance.
Yeah, bit of dissy.
But the new
See.
ones, the technology in the graphite shafts is different now, where they're doing a lot of different flexes, a lot of different.
Yeah,
things
so this is
that-
the new piece of information that he's just added. Like,
Yeah.
it was never, the new ones these days are actually quite suitable for the male golfer. That none of that. It was like
8 years on from the clubs that you bought.
Anyway, so it's just like full on dog pile on me about the graphite shafts. And then he says, I'm getting new golf shafts. And then he just drops in the chat, oh, just by the way, there's a chance that could be graphite that I'm getting, but the technology's changed.
Oh, so you're getting graphite now
I'll
for
get
your
fitted.
birthday.
I'll get
He may
fitted
or may
for
not.
him, and they'll tell me.
But he's
what
laying the
shafts I-
groundwork. But he might get graphite, and
yeah.
now it's fine because the technology.
But what was the last thing I said?
That's great.
What was the last thing I said?
Well done.
I'm probably going to get steel.
because
That's the
something-
last
because
thing
of that. Yeah.
because of something.
Just
Yeah.
to show you.
I really wish that the listeners could wait for me to go get that one of my golf clubs and look at what it says on it, because it doesn't say ladies flex. It says like regular flex or something like that.
Regular
Just to be
flex.
clear, they've always made graphite shafts for men, but they've been well known to be shit. But the new technology is better.
Okay, all right.
All right. Yeah.
That's exhausting.
Back to the footy.
Yeah, footy.
I heard a stat the other day. I think the heap of injuries,
Yeah.
and mainly hamstrings.
Hammies.
Hammies
Hammy
gone.
season.
50 players.
You know what
In
I
the-
was
in
told?
the NRL.
Over 50 players.
In the NRL.
Yeah.
What, since the
Done
this season, you
hamstrings.
mean?
This year.
This year, yeah.
We were told
crazy.
at soccer, which I know is a different sport, not an impact, but there's this like FIFA warm up, and you got to do it. And apparently, if you do that warm up exactly like that, there's like a 50% chance, unless you get
You tear a hammy.
not going to hammy, but I
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't know.
sounds a bit.
I think
Sounds a
it's
bit
Sounds like they know you got graphite.
they're all up. They were talking about what do you think's causing it. And I mean, not that I know exactly, but I think it's all the wet weather.
Oh yeah.
I
Or is it?
don't know. The
Well,
ground's
how-
just
How many normally though? Like, how's this compared to a normal? Did they say
I
that?
think it was same time last year was around 17 or 18.
And
Do you
now
reckon
it's what,
it's
50? Did you say?
Over 50 now. Yeah,
Jeez, okay.
because
Change-
two went
change of-
yesterday.
Change of direction on the soft ground or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird one, but
There's a lot
yeah,
in the
Anything to do with the
AFL
boots?
as well.
is there?
Yeah, a lot of injuries. I don't know how many hamstrings there are, but there's shit ton of injuries.
Yeah.
Like the Lions just lost 2 players, 2 of their best players. We've lost like our whole forward line's out at the moment.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Well, there's they're a lot
Global warming?
since the vaccine.
it could be it's the vaccine.
Makes your hamstrings
Yeah.
weak.
It's bloody fucking AstraZeneca, mate. Pulled it
Yeah,
off
but
the
they're like
shelves.
Cleary's out for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Ponga's
It's gonna
been
miss Origin.
3 months. You know, yeah,
Cleary's
there's
going to miss all of Origin.
yeah. So
I don't like when good players.
That's
see
right.
the
I
team
want to
miss
beat
Origin.
them
Yeah.
with the good player in it.
Yeah.
yeah,
They don't want the excuse. Like, they've got a preloaded excuse
It's
now.
not even the
Yeah.
excuse. I just like to see the elite go at it.
Well, speaking of elite of the elite, that was me one night. I went to the Broncos v Manly, and I was in a corporate box with some mates from
Must be nice.
Diageo. They Bundy Rum and Johnny
Yeah.
Walker and all that. Anyway, so it was pretty much free piss and free food. Anyway, we went to not the Caxton, the one over the road from the Caxton. I think Lockyer half owned it at some stage. Ice Bar.
the LA.
This is how long ago it was.
Oh, the Ice Bar. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They turned it into that burger place that we used to go to.
Oh, yeah, the American one.
Yeah, the New York burgers or
What
whatever.
happened to that?
The fuck was that noise? Like, what is going
That's
on?
the snake.
That is a snake.
That was definitely snake footprints.
Yeah.
Honestly, they've been looking at each other all night, Ben, like they're planning something.
I'm definitely not involved.
I'm
Well, you guys are here before me,
One
so
step to the left.
anyway, we're at this bar,
Yeah.
keeping on drinking, and I got hit on.
Okay. When was this?
Oh, it's just years ago. Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I must have aged
Great.
badly. I must have.
By the way, I'm loving that you're giving the stablemates a great view of your foot.
Me? Oh, that
No,
guy.
I'm so sore. I had a fall today.
Did you?
And I've knocked the bone off my elbow.
Actually?
Yeah, it's sore. Anyway,
Ben said earlier,
Cut it off in the pocket.
yeah, when you get to this age, it's when you transition from, what did you say?
Yeah.
I fell
Yeah.
to I've had a fall.
Yeah.
I had a fall today.
Did you
Now,
fall?
now
Yeah.
leg is a falls risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the old story.
It's when it becomes like from a verb to a noun. Like
Like
fell
Googling. Yeah.
Fall.
to I had a fall.
Had a fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a guy.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, and he
hitting
was
on you.
He was the weatherman on Channel 9.
Oh,
Graphite.
I think,
I had graphite clubs on my backpack or something.
I think you've told me that.
Yeah,
I know.
Was it?
I don't know if we want to say the name.
Oh, no, I mean, it could have been someone else.
Yeah.
Was there
Ray
there-
Wilkie. Bloody Ray Wilkie hit on him.
Yeah. I know the guy.
Yeah, and nice guy.
Did you buy him breakfast?
After
Oh, very good. Now on the NRL, now when everyone's gone past that, on the NRL, did you see the fucking high tackle in the Manly
yes.
Dolphins game?
yeah, speaking of Manly.
Now
yeah.
Domini.
It was a brush across the face. It was like he stroked his stubble.
Yeah, it's what he did to me on the houseboat.
Yeah, it was
That'd be
what
so-
he did on the houseboat.
Yeah,
when he
that was
thought you were
assault what I
Aaron.
did to you. I later learned that I sexually assaulted you.
Yeah, it was unwanted and sexual in nature. That's the definition. It was the worst. They took the try off him.
Yeah.
It was a brush to the face.
Yeah.
Did you see Fatty Vorton blow up? He said the game's fucked. It's over. Like, it's over if this shit's happening.
Was
Yeah.
was just a ref's call, or did they actually confirm it?
Went to the bunker.
And the bunker
they
said-
over fucking
Yeah, it was just
because
light
it was
brush.
just the lightest brush.
No,
to
so the bunker
face.
said it was not a high tackle.
No, the
bunker said it was. Because of contact with the face.
How can they get it wrong on video?
Oh, I don't know. They get it wrong so often on video.
Yeah,
Fatty
it was
Vorton
so
blew
light.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
And then in the AFL, did you see the Lions Crows game
Draw?
on the weekend? It was a draw. Now I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? It's big question mark after the Anzac Day game and the Lions game yesterday. Do you think there should be extra time
In AFL?
in the AFL?
Well, remember, and people couldn't understand why. Remember when you had to replay a freaking grand
That's
final?
dumb.
But people were defending that. Like,
No.
oh no, it's the way it's always been. They got it. If they couldn't split them on the day, they got it. Obviously, you don't replay a grand final. You have a fucking.
I remember Nick
Winner,
Maxwell when
yeah.
Collingwood won, drew the grand final against St Kilda. They interviewed him after the game. He was so angry. He was like, "Oh, this is bullshit, mate. Like,
Yeah.
if it's
They're
going
all
to take
there.
something like this for them to change the rule, this is an absolute joke. The AFL's got to sort this."
Yeah.
And then the next week, they interviewed him. He's like, "How good are grand final replays?" Because
they won, yeah.
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 But should they have extra time like they do?
why?
How would they do it? Would it be
Well, in finals games, not the grand. That's what's even more stupid about the grand final, is in the prelims, the quarters.
Yeah,
the
you could
semis.
replay- remember the West Coast
they
one?
they have extra time.
Yeah, West Coast Sydney.
it's
remember that
only
one?
the grand final that they don't have extra.
Well, they do
time.
now. They changed it.
I think they changed it. Yeah,
Pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
Benji, look that one up. We'll get back to you on that. Do, 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 do. Oh, you can do that with editing, can't you?
Yeah. Should they? Should they have extra time?
Not okay. I've considered it, and the answer I believe relates all the way back to what we've talked about before, which is scoring ratios. So NRL, I can see it. NRL is in the perfect zone of something that should have golden point because a draw would happen enough in the NRL scoring system that it'd be annoying. Soccer, on the other hand, the scores are so low, you're not going to get tied. You play extra time in soccer. It goes a whole half hour, they still don't score.
Yeah,
They still don't score. So
You're shitting on your own sport.
yeah. Whereas AFL, it's so rare. What would it happen like once or twice a season?
Well, twice.
Three
Yeah,
times?
probably twice a season. Tops.
I reckon that's a good little anomaly, and then it creates this interesting ripple throughout the ladder.
I don't think in the AFL it matters. Like, I like that it's a draw. Like, a draw's an outcome. It's fine. I don't like golden point in the NRL. I don't like that both teams played really well, and it can be decided by either a shit penalty, like just an unfortunate penalty, or a field goal. Like, do you know what I would, if I was the NRL commissioner, here's what I'd do.
Yep.
I would make it stay golden point, but I would make it like the ice hockey, where,
Off.
in the ice hockey, it's a draw, both teams get a point, and now you're playing for the additional point.
That means an extra
okay.
point's been given out, does it?
Yeah, that's all right, though.
Does it screw the
So
ladder
both
up
teams
anyway?
get a point, And whoever
Yeah, it's
gets
interesting.
whoever wins golden point gets an extra point.
Oh,
That is interesting.
Because I just think a field goal, it comes down to toss of the coin, who kicked off to start with. Well, you dropped it because you didn't kick off.
Yeah, but there was
Yeah.
a draw after
Golden point.
Golden Point this year as well. Yeah.
Is there another more interesting way they could do it? Like not.
I
with
wouldn't
the
mind
points.
if it was golden try. But even the
They could
penalty,
go for a while.
because if a penalty is just a bad decision, there's a game gone.
Well, could they make it?
Yeah.
Should they just make you can't kick for goal in golden point? You still get a penalty and you get another set, or you can kick for touch and get in a better
I
position.
think you're changing the game too much then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because discipline's an important part of the game. I just like the idea of that they both get something because they drew, and then they go again. But I would keep the AFL the way it is. And I think you're right with the amount of points. Like
Yeah.
it is a weird feeling, though. Like on Anzac Day, it was just a big nothing.
Could they do a
feeling at the end
golden
of it.
goal in AFL, you
They
think?
could.
The
but
thing-
Like 5 minutes each way, go for a golden goal.
I don't see
or just
why
do,
they. I don't. My point is why, like in a regular season game, a draw's fine. Why do they need?
I think the Anzac Day is an interesting one because it feels like it's some sort of final or something,
Yeah.
but it's still just.
But
a
even
regular
last night, it was a very empty feeling because it was a great game. It was a cracker of a game.
talking point.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's right. It is a
talking about it now.
talking point.
In fact, I think
even
if
on
you
this
rewound, you would hear us talking about it for the last little while.
you probably would.
Fuck,
yeah.
we're going to wear out the rewind
Well,
button.
speaking of
I had more to say.
rewinds,
Oh, okay.
we're going to go back to one of the first.
Scoot's not happy that you moved on.
Sorry, mate, I didn't.
I had more to say about
Oh,
sport.
did
Can
you?
we-
Okay,
can we-
no, keep going. I'm just getting ready.
You do your bit, but can we?
No,
talk
we're
about sport a bit more?
yeah.
After you've done your bit.
No, we're going to revisit the ladder because we had our ladder
predictions.
predictions.
Oh yeah, let's do that because I
Yeah.
can still talk about sport after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think I went Bronx, Panthers, Roosters, Storm. Storm, Warriors, and Roosters. So we're going to look at the ladder now. And my wooden spoon was West Tigers or Bulldogs. So, the top four in the NRL at the moment is Cronulla, Penrith, Storm, and Dolphins.
How did I go?
You had Penrith, so you just went Penrith all the way through.
Yeah.
I think Benji,
you went Penrith
Benji
and
did too. Yeah. And then, and the wooden spoon at the moment is South Sydney. They're having a shocking year. They've won one game.
Did old
Well-
mate get his marching orders?
Who's that?
The coach?
Yes, they sacked
And
him.
are they talking about Bennett coming back?
Next year, yeah.
Well, is that-
Yeah. So after this year, he's not signed to anyone at the moment, but I think it was coming out. Maybe it's already been out that he has signed with them, but yeah, he'll go there for 2-3 years maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years I
How
think it
old's
is.
he now?
75. Yeah.
He's always looked that age though.
It's more like a
small.
Like even when
He doesn't waste his facial muscles on moving the sides of his mouth up to look happy at any point.
he looks exactly the same as he did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Same
Now,
teachers do that too. You see a teacher in the street. Like 30 years has passed, but they look exactly the same.
Now, who'd you go?
now I'm going to start this with an apology.
Is it about
I
the
owe our
graphite
good
shafts?
friend Ben over here,
Yeah.
our old producer Ben, a fair apology because he made the comment that he thought Geelong were going to do really well, and I said they won't make the 8.
Yeah.
I went, Ben.
Why did you say it in a 1950s commentator voice?
I think it was more
Here
Rodney.
he comes on the field then.
No, I think it was more Rodney. Ha, ha, won't make the 8. Ha. Now, I said Geelong won't make the 8. Ben said they would. They're coming second.
Right. Who's
I said
first?
Sydney would just make the 8.
Yeah.
Sydney are first.
Oh,
They're top of the ladder.
Ben's team.
Swans.
Yeah, right.
Now, I said, I'll go backwards. I said fourth would be Collingwood. Mm-hmm. No, sorry. I said fourth would
No.
be Carlton.
Yep.
Is the
Yes.
season over or something? Why are we talking about this now?
Well, we're just
doing an
recapping.
update.
We're just
recap,
recapping.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. See how we're
Well,
done. We'll
mate.
recap it in again in
Okay.
another 4
So I said
weeks.
fourth
After
would
the
be
Origin,
Carlton.
maybe.
They're
Yeah.
seventh.
Yep.
I said third would be Collingwood. They're eighth.
Yeah.
Second, I said would be GWS, and they're fifth. And first, no, sorry, I said GWS would be first. Second, I said would be Brisbane. They're 13th.
13th, yeah.
That is fucking woeful.
Yeah.
Before yesterday's game, they were equal with Hawthorn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're going so bad. But I said either North Melbourne or West Coast would get the wooden spoon.
Wooden
North
spoon.
Melbourne are on donut. They're on Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Right. Well, you keep going. What you got?
Sorry, mate. We've taken way too much
I was
time of
just
your
gonna say-
podcast.
I was going to say, actually, when do I get an apology? You just apologise to Ben, but you did just apologise to me, but it was dripping with sarcasm.
About what?
Just rewind. You just said sorry, mate.
For taking up too much airtime on your podcast.
You just... What are you asking me? Like, what you apologised for 10 seconds ago? Or you're asking me what I
What
want
do you want an apology
Oh, just everything. Like, every single thing.
Ben's not an asshole. Oh, can I tell you something else I've learned?
Yeah.
31 episodes it's taken me to learn this. So we record this at Scoot's place of residence in
Yep.
his home studio. Must be nice.
Beautiful spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Snakes
every week, every time we record, I bring beers because I'm not going to just drink his beers. I bring beers.
Yep.
And you often see me get up and go and get a beer from the fridge. Mm-hmm. But I bring an esky. I could have just sat it next to me this whole time. It's just right
Just
here.
you don't have to get up.
It's right here. I've just got myself another drink.
I noticed that when I walked in that, he's got his esky next to him so he doesn't have to get up.
Why don't I just do this?
It was just a social experiment. 30 how long you would take.
episodes.
31's the number.
Yeah. It's been nearly a year.
Yeah. That's the... Yeah.
I think July was the first one last
No,
year.
I looked this up. Yeah, it was July.
All right, go. Give it. Hit us.
What are we going to do for our 12 months?
Oh, you don't
We're
want
going to do a fire night. I mean, which is probably something we organise off air, but...
Yeah.
No, do planning on the
Are we
potty.
thinking Friday or Saturday night? Because I freaking... Apparently,
Is this to
my
do with...
father-in-law's coming over that weekend on the Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Does the Friday night work?
Is
probably
this
not.
just social
No.
organising? This
Yeah.
isn't the...
This is
Okay.
content.
We just thought...
Well, we'll sort it out.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah,
Off air?
maybe
All right,
off
yeah.
air.
Is that
Okay, yeah, that's
okay.
I've dropped the marker, don't worry.
Fuck
Yeah, I've
hell.
chopped that tree up that fell on the bloody studio,
Yeah.
and it's ready to go.
Right.
That was probably not that fully dry.
It'll
out.
be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll get
Yeah.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some good firewood there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, okay. Well, the other thing I was going to say in sport, I've been watching a bit of the old Facebook.
Right.
Is that how you say it?
FEB.
And some videos keep coming up on my thing about soccer, the state of Australian soccer or football.
Right.
I guess that could be the root cause. We don't know what to call it, but like where the
Soccer.
A-League's at, and
The
just,
A-League's fucked,
It's
isn't
just
it?
like when they launched that. I don't know. It's like 10, 15 years ago now, probably 15. It was a pretty good effort to
Yeah.
start with. Like it's going to be a new comp and it's going to
Yeah.
but now it's just kind of dwindling. Their broadcast deal, I think they've just redone, and it's just dog shit.
Really?
And like, there's no money, and
Can I tell you what I reckon it is?
Yeah.
The algorithm has listened to our podcast then,
What?
I've just
because we've talked about that.
so it could be. It could be.
Yeah,
Or it could
and now
just be
you're
that they know I like soccer because I watch a lot of soccer videos.
It's probably it.
And
Shit, I was
talk
giving
about
us
it
a
with your
rap.
friends and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is the A-League suffering?
In
Yeah.
Europe, it is, and South American stuff, it is like a religion. Like,
Yeah.
it is like a religion. So, because it's just fed down their throats from an early age, the speed of the game and the actual game itself matters a little bit less. But in Australia, where it's not a religion, and we have options like rugby league, like AFL, where it's fast-paced, it's
Yeah.
high-scoring affairs.
Yeah.
It's like watching fucking paint dry. Like,
Yeah,
I can't
well,
do it.
yeah.
I love watching the Socceroos in the Olympics or in the World Cup, just to see how they go. I was talking to my daughter last week. The Olympics are coming up. I said, we're going to go out to watch the Matildas. How good's that?
Yeah.
And I do genuinely like that.
Yeah.
But the game itself, it's just not enough.
Is Messi's playing in the States?
He's
at the moment?
playing, Inter Miami. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
And I think
Why is he
Suarez.
playing
Would something like that, someone like that, to come to Australia would take?
They've had that. They've had the marquee players come. They had Robbie Fowler, who was a Manchester United player. They've had, I think Dwight York might have played for Sydney
Yeah,
FC, Manchester United player. They've had Romario, fucking awesome Brazilian player, play for the Raw. I just don't know, it's a chicken and egg, because the game, if they had the quality of the gameplay that they've got in the EPL playing here, would people like
I
it?
don't reckon. Because we
It's
could
a-
watch the
It's a
EPL.
big quality difference, but if they were
It
playing at
is.
Suncorp Stadium,
It is, but we still don't engage with the game. Like, I don't watch the EPL. I could watch that.
Yeah.
But it's
I
not the
don't
same.
like
It's an
watching it.
overseas league. You don't care about any of the teams.
Yeah.
But and why are there so many? Why is soccer such a popular sport at grassroots level? And then there's just no pathway. But I just can't see how they get out of that chicken and egg thing.
Yeah.
Like there's no decent league for the Aussie players
It's
to
interesting because it is.
to aspire to.
I would argue
Yeah.
it's probably the most popular kids sport
Yeah, it is.
at a
Yeah,
grassroots
I reckon.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a bit of running. It's a bit of football without the danger. It's,
yeah.
Like,
I-
Indy's refereeing now,
Mm.
the like under 6s and 7s and that, and there's tons of them. The whole field's packed.
yeah.
Like and there's 4 or 5 subs
Yeah, I know.
per
Yeah.
team.
It's insane. Then it just drops off a
Kids,
cliff.
yeah, kids
and
everywhere.
I don't know where all the AFL and
Where do they
rugby
go
league
to?
players come from because I don't see those games happening half as much.
Yeah,
Well, even we.
Maybe it's a country thing or like.
well they are happening. Yeah, and
Like I played soccer until I was 14,
Yeah.
15, and then went to basketball.
that's
but
what I thought. Maybe I think I said that last time. Is it somewhere in those teenage years where
Sport does fall off,
yeah,
Yeah.
but
why?
I think the perception, like I think the game is actually a more exciting game than you think it is
When you're
'Cause
playing,
Well, no, to watch because you're used to watching Socceroos games and they're always shit.
Yeah,
They're because the international they don't play. They're not a club. They come together. They try to. They're all defensive mindset. It's like
Yeah.
whereas if you watch Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Spurs, all those teams,
yeah,
like they're really good games. There's goals being scored. They're quality goals.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think you
Yeah.
appreciate the skills more than we do.
But the
Because I
people in
I
those-
watched Man U or
Yeah.
something play where I'm just like, I appreciate the skills, but I still don't enjoy watching
Maybe
it.
the highlights, yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
probably appreciate the skill level more. It's kind of like basketball. Like my brother fucking hates basketball, but he's just started getting into it because his son's into it.
yeah.
But he doesn't appreciate it for the same reasons that I do.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder for him to watch. So I think it's probably a similar thing.
But if it's just the most popular sport to play in Australia, why isn't
Well,
people?
Yeah, there must be that.
I just can't
pathway.
quite figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, why is the NBL going so well now? Because
Is
the
it?
NBL's always struggled.
Is it?
Yeah, it's starting to like even
It's
the
doing really
American
well,
players.
yeah.
Like in America, if you didn't make the NBA, you'd always go to France or China or something
Yeah.
like that, play in their leagues. The NBL is now one of those leagues where the
Yeah.
NBA, if you don't make the NBA, that's where you
How
might
many
be, you might
players
end
they
up.
get? I mean, how many spectators they get to a game?
Well,
I
every
think
time
I
I've
s-
been to the Bullets, there's been a pretty full
Like
stadium.
convention centre.
No, they've got a new arena at McGregor or whatever it is.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Nissan
that way.
Arena
I think
over there.
I mentioned on
Near
the potty
Kiwi.
before, but it's the first time this year since the 90s that the NBL has had over 1 million spectators
Like, what do
They're
you think?
going
through,
really well.
through all games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look at the Bullets. Are they
Bullets,
back?
yeah, they're back.
yeah, they're playing all right. Yeah. Yep.
And
I don't watch too much of it. I watch a bit of the NBA and in the minis, the KO minis.
There's a
if I don't
lot
have
of
time.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of Australian players in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Like obviously we've got the big names that we know of, Giddy, etc. But and Simmons, but like Exum, he's in the finals now. I think he's injured, but he's in
Yeah,
the finals.
he's
I think
good,
he's
isn't he?
playing for Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a more digestible sport for someone who's not into it. Like frequent scoring, like you get
Yeah.
to cheer every 2 minutes when they score.
That's
Then
my point.
Same
though.
with 2020 cricket.
That's my point,
Yeah.
though, of a culture where we haven't been brought up with soccer being one of our cultures. We've been brought up with cricket and footy and all
Yeah.
that. That's exactly my point. Is it makes it harder to watch for people who aren't born and bred that sport.
So how
Yeah.
would they go about it if they wanted to say, all right, it's not working, soccer, for example,
Fuck
or
it off.
basketball, for example.
Just
but-
fuck it off.
But if they go like, what would be the best shot? Like I heard Mark Bosnich say they should play it in winter. Like align it with the actual playing season, make it like compete because it's an alternative to the other codes.
Yeah.
But make it compete when people are in that mindset. Like I don't know what else could you
Yeah.
do?
Was it Bosnich that got caught with?
Yeah,
Powder.
Yeah, it was just funny because you said Bosnich and then you said align it, and I was
yeah.
it's a bit dodgy.
But how would you do it? How would you make it actually a popular thing?
Free blowjobs.
Fuck, that's your answer to everything.
Yeah, you can beep that out.
He will.
That is legit your answer to everything.
Well, it's not everything, but it's in the top fucking 5.
I think you're right about the winter thing though, because like we're sports season and then it's the off season,
Yeah.
and that's what they're playing. People just gotta go. Okay, well, all the other big codes are finished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Find
what's
something
the
else to
problem?
do.
Is it money? Is it just
Well,
like
it's
is it got to start at the bottom somehow? Like, is it?
Yeah.
It's just an unsolvable problem because it's.
Well, I just solved it for you. I definitely solved it for you.
I reckon it's because you haven't got passion, then you need engagement. And how do you get engagement? Then you have an exciting product.
Yeah.
And they don't have an exciting product. Like, I appreciate the skills.
I'd rather watch.
But I don't find it interesting to watch.
I'd rather go and watch him play and have a few beers.
Yeah, same.
Out at Moggle.
Then watch me.
Then go to A-League.
Well, you see the.
I've only been to one A-League game and I missed the goal. It was.
I've never been to
at
one,
the
yeah.
bar.
But you see, say the Greek community or like certain ethnic communities in Sydney and Melbourne, like
That's
is
the passion.
They love it. Yeah.
That's passion. That's
That's
insane.
the passion, though.
Like it's
Yeah.
So that's the passion I'm talking about. That's been fed down to them from generations.
Yeah. I think obviously soccer's always been there, but it just didn't have the pull. I don't
Why
think.
is it so successful in America then? Is it just money?
They've
Because
thrown
it's
heaps
going,
at it.
it's going.
it's a
bunter
bigger
over
market.
there.
There's more. I
Heaps,
think
yeah.
Like when they
it's a way
brought-
bigger market.
When the Galaxy brought Beckham to their team, that changed that whole
Yeah.
league.
That,
Yeah.
and that's
And now
what's-
they seem to be attracting players.
That's what I was in the back of my mind. Like, if you could, like, would just an absolute shitload of money, just could they, if they could get that,
Maybe.
they fix it. They basically attract the top talent.
Yeah.
We're going to pay you shitloads of money.
If they can
Kind of like the
attract,
IPL.
Yeah.
The IPL in
Yeah.
India.
if they can attract some Beckhams and stuff like that, maybe. But we're never going to have that money for that sport in this country.
Well,
We're too
someone
small.
who would invest in it.
Not
You
me.
need
Do you
Fox.
You could invest in it.
You know, Stan's doing the rugby union. So
Would there be any
Channel
payoff
9?
in the government to invest in something like that?
I don't know. They'd have to get something back out of it.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to what the fucks. I've got a quick one. A new Pearl Jam album, by the way. Loving it.
Yeah, Ben
That's
and
a
I were
cracker.
listening to it in the office. this
It's
morning.
good, eh?
great.
So good.
Track
very
one,
good.
Dark Matter. What's it?
Wreckage I really
Wreckage,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's-
Something special. Zara loves that. She
What's
knows
the
all the
slower
words
one?
already. I'm like, how do you... What?
What's the one that starts quite like it's just an eerie sound and then it's a kind of slowy one?
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
really
Anyway,
good content. I was trying to
listen
think
to
of
it,
the name
yeah.
of
But I saw a video, watching some of the later new live shows singing the new songs, and it's pretty cool. That's shitty, camera work.
Yep.
But then I saw an interview with who was it? I can't remember, but it was McCready saying, the interviewer said, "Oh, are there any songs you want to sing on the new tour?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, yeah, I want to do No Secrets by the Angels."
Oh,
Was he
right.
kind of serious about it?
Yeah, he was
they
like,
might do
he
it?
just because I remember hearing somewhere they're called Angel City, I think,
Yeah.
in America, because there was another female group called the Angels.
Uh-huh.
So the Angels in America's Angel City, something
Yeah,
like that.
okay.
And he said, "Oh yeah, I want to do No Secrets by Angel City." And then they all said different songs, but he said,
That's weird.
"I mean,
They're
that's
called
pretty good."
Different band name in a different region. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like-
on Spotify. What are they?
Probably,
Or can it Spotify detect what region you're in and buddy change it or something?
maybe it's back to the Angels now or
Yeah.
something. I think it's when they first. But see, I remember hearing Guns N' Roses loving the Angels and Rose Tattoo and all that Australian rock from the 80s that they loved it. Pearl Jam have always said that they
Yeah.
love the Angels and that. So that's a pretty cool shout out from
Yeah.
McCready, one of
Yeah.
the biggest bands, doing an Angel song. So hopefully they do it at the Gold Coast when we see them. So it'd be cool. Yeah.
Cool. You know what I've just discovered on Spotify is listening to playlists. I know everyone's done this before. Yeah, many years you've probably done this for.
What,
but like
listening
a
to
theme
playlists?
of what I want to listen to. Like,
Right. Yeah.
like there's quite specific playlists out there.
Yeah. You created one.
Yeah, I did create that one, but yeah, like if you just whatever I can just type in what I'm thinking, like relaxing electronic something. Like I just type some words in, and then there's going to be a playlist of songs of that
Have
genre.
you
Hand jobs with mates.
Yeah,
have you got into radio?
I tried that a couple of times, like Pearl Jam Radio, then similar stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah,
too.
it's good.
Yeah.
And there's also that AI DJ
I haven't
on
tried
there
that.
now too.
I haven't tried that.
but he'll do like 4 songs of a.
I
and then
remember you saying
now we're
that.
going to go back to the 1990s, which I know you love. We're going to do this. And it's like now we're going to play what's in the charts, and I'll just skip 4 songs, and then now I got another one. I got one.
Yep.
I'm going to start this for fuck's sake or what the fuck. I never know how to categorise them. It's one of the two. I'm going to start it with a question.
Okay.
Do you think in club level sport, so soccer,
Yep.
football, whatever it is, do you think the mercy rule should exist?
Is that like if you're beating a team by X?
If a team is getting insanely
Actually-
fucking annihilated, should
Yeah.
there be a mercy?
This is interesting. Can we rewind to the start of the podcast
We're rewinding all the time.
where you asked me like what I've been doing and stuff?
Okay, what have you been doing? It's good.
Yeah, so I had a soccer game on the Friday.
You played
yeah, just a bit of
over
soccer.
45s.
35s, champ.
Oh.
Over 35s. Yeah. How
Oh, you give me an old.
Oh, how'd it go? Yeah, so we haven't been doing too well,
You're in a
But-
fucking mood.
Right.
Yeah. but yeah, no, we won. We had a
You
good,
did?
We had a win.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Were you sore?
What's the score?
Oh, was okay. Wrong question. Fucking hell! I can't read this prick's mind anymore.
do you want
Like I
us
used
to
to
go?
ask the right question
Like if
at
we
the right
if we
time.
leave and you just do all the parts of the body,
Can we play the guessing game? What was the score?
Oh, you
Just
you
get-
won.
3-0, 42-0,
No.
Must have
Worse
been good
than
because
that.
the mercy
better than
rule.
3-0.
The mercy rules
Better
come
than
up.
3-0.
12-0
The same
margin,
margin. That's the word.
13-1.
Yeah, 13-1.
Really?
that was quicker than I thought.
13-1.
13-1. And
Do you think the mercy rule?
well, yeah. Then I told my mum about that as well, and she's like, "I hope you didn't,
Rub it in.
And I said to her, it would be more insulting if we had played it all around, and then one of us just had a shot on an open goal,
Chip it over to them.
and then just
Oh, there you go.
kicked it out.
Way you go.
How insulted would you feel?
Oh
Pass it to their striker. Go on, mate. Have a
yeah.
go.
No.
No, and the same thing happened. Lucas's game under 10s, like they were beating their kids, and I kind of used to be a bit on this train of thought when the kids were younger. I was like, guys, okay, let's just try to hold the ball. Don't worry about scoring too much. Like, let's just try to pass it around.
Really?
And all that.
Fuck that.
But now
No
I'm not.
way.
Now I'm not like that. I'm like, guys, just don't go over the top with your celebrations.
Yeah.
Like, let's work on some of the stuff we want to work on, like
Yeah.
passing. But you can still score. Like,
Yeah.
You can still score.
Yeah,
just
bloody
don't
oath.
rub it in their
don't
face.
rub it in their faces.
Well,
Yeah.
well, here's why.
Okay.
Fitzroy versus Elizabeth in the Adelaide Football League. So quite a low level.
SANFL or different?
I think it's lower.
Lower.
This is like Div 6.
Yep.
Final score of this AFL game. 82 goals 24 to 0 goals 0.
No
God.
way.
They missed that many-
516 nil.
How did they get that many misses? Like that
I
many
worked it out.
24s?
That's like 1.6 goals a minute or something like that.
I often think about
Wow.
this. I think about this a lot. Like if our soccer team played Manchester United or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
we've
what would the
done-
score
we've
I think
be?
we've
that.
done it on the
Yeah.
potty.
Yes.
Yeah, have we done that on
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
So-
How bad's your memory?
You were quite happy. You asked us what would the score be, and I was quite nice to you, and you were shocked.
No. But like it'd literally be academic about, okay, so how long does it take for the ball to get back? Do they stop the clock when the ball gets put at halfway?
Yeah.
How long to do this? Yeah, so no mercy rule.
yes.
You're saying no mercy rule.
I don't think so. There was a rugby league one. I think it was 140
Yeah.
nil or something down at the Gold Coast.
516 to
That's
nil. That's a lot.
crazy.
82 unanswered goals.
82 goals.
What's your opinion on how you should conduct yourself? Whether it
Don't
be a kids or
over-celebrate.
professionals or whatever.
If you're on the losing team,
Yeah, humble.
Like as
You've gotta be
as
humble.
on the winning team.
yeah,
gotta be humble.
I think you've got to always play fair, play hard, but play fair.
Yeah, I don't think
yeah.
I would slow down. Like that whole thing
No.
of, don't go so hard that we're just cooking a goal every minute. No, you got to play your normal game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you've got but you're right. Don't over celebrate.
That's the thing. You the stuff you're practicing at training, you're
Yeah.
doing in a game, and if
Yeah.
you're winning 10-0, you just keep doing that
There's probably
because it's going to
little
get you
things
better for
like-
the one all game.
There's
Yeah.
probably little things like if they get the ball, you probably don't need to smoke them into the ground and bury them with a tackle.
I ended up going goalie at the end for the last 15, 20 minutes because to give our goalie a run because he was doing fuck all.
Oh, really?
Did you What happened with that goal that you leaked, though? Was that when you were goalie?
Yeah, so I've actually redeemed myself from that time.
Oh, you saved a
I got
couple?
that. Yeah, I did. I made quite a few saves.
Well,
So-
what about the one that did go in?
that wasn't when I was on.
When you were goalie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You could tighten that up, you guys.
Oh, very good. No, so, no mercy rule.
No mercy rule?
Nah.
Yep.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No. All right.
Now, I've got an update.
Yes.
Better than Branson
Oh,
business
yes.
ideas. I've got a little update. One of our business ideas has made some revenue. First revenue for the poddy.
Is this Bill Weasel?
BillWeasel.com has made some revenue.
I thought it was Wicked Weasel.
No, that's
Is that still
look it
around?
up.
Is that still a
You
thing?
won't.
Wicked
be
Weasel.
disappointed
Yeah,
if
you
found
just
Wicked
showed me
Weasel.
something on it.
Yeah. I just showed the Instagram story before. Made his day.
That's why I needed a couple of minutes to
That's
myself.
why he's been quite dirty tonight. I've
Yeah.
fueled him.
Testosterone's off the chart.
Bill Weasel has made its first revenue.
Tell us about it.
So we've often talked about the hardest part of getting BillWeasel.com off the ground is permission to talk directly to the person. Like if I'm going to fight for Scoot on his Telstra bill,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's Telstra, but
Yeah.
they're grubs.
Grubs, yes.
If I'm going to fight, they're not going to talk to me because I'm not on the account. I don't have permission
Yeah.
to talk. So, a gentleman who was on this podcast, our
Yes.
phone-in caller, stablemate Carl,
Yep.
he had a dispute with a plumbing organisation. We're not going to say their name.
Nah,
'cause
are
it's
we going to do
against
that thing
Bill
where we say
Weasel's
the first
policy.
letter and then
No,
okay.
it's
No.
against the company policy. It's against our code of ethics. He had a dispute with them where they were trying to get him to pay the nasty sum of about $10,000, and BillWeasel.com thought that's about $4,000.
Yeah.
And over many weeks of coaching, phone calls with him, coaching him, now we're going to say this, now we're going to say this,
Yeah.
we got him that $10,000 bill down to $4,000.
Yeah.
So
How good's
stablemate
that?
Carl has an invoice coming in the mail for
Yeah.
10% of that,
Yeah.
$600.
Wow.
He doesn't know that.
Oh, he doesn't know. Yeah.
And he's also probably going to say things like, fuck off, you helped me. I was just bitching to you. You didn't do anything. But we did. We helped him.
Yeah.
We got it. And we're going to send him that invoice. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Ah, very
Like
good.
Going around, I think the tradie world, like plumbers and stuff.
Oh, there's a
Like
it's
just
just bit on. Like I put it in my quotes. Any additional work that's not on the quote, they'll be incur an extra fee. I've also got a rock and a root clause that I had to put into place. That
Because of those 17 holes with 17 roots.
like
Yeah,
those
rock
roots
and
were
roots.
like every hole like as thick as my leg. Like, it was getting anyway.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Oh, it was awful.
That's so fucked.
It was awful. And but just so because a lot of the times they'll say, "Oh, why are you here?"
Yeah.
You know. But then if you do something, like it's a bit different in my world, I guess. Landscaping, like the fence is a fence.
Yeah.
Like plumbing and all that, they're doing a lot underground, and you,
Yeah, they try to bamboozle you. Like I remember I had that one where they told me I had to dig up the whole,
Oh, yeah.
the whole thing, and then I called
They scare you. Because
a mate, and
something
they're like,
major.
"Nah, we'll get that out. We'll just
Do that.
jet it and we'll,
Something
Yeah.
major isn't working in your house, and you're panicked, and you're trying to get it back
yeah."
online
Well,
quickly.
we had
And that's
shit
what
piling
that's
up.
what Carl was
I had
dealing with.
human feces piling up
Yeah.
behind, like
And
back
Carl had
into
no,
the
Carl had
driveway.
no water.
Like,
Waffle
my shit was
stop.
on display.
No one wants to see that.
So yeah, I was in a panic about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those moments, people who are naive, they'll
Yeah,
just
he
be
didn't have
taken
water.
advantage
Carl didn't
of.
have water.
Yeah.
So they just got to fix
So
the
you
water.
just got to do something and get it done quickly.
But it
Yeah.
pays to make an extra phone call to someone you trust. I
That's
think.
right, yeah.
And that's why I've been lucky because I've with the soccer team and stuff. There's usually a plumber, an electrician, or something. You can just run
Someone
it by
there.
them and you go,
Yeah.
"Does this sound right?" And then yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that reminded me of it was back when the Queen was still alive, and she was still the Queen.
QE2,
Hey?
QE2, Queen Elizabeth II, QE2.
Oh, she the second? Was she? I don't know. Anyway, she Prince Charles had come to Australia, and he got in big trouble. What?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, keep
yeah,
going.
keep
For
going.
wearing the
Yeah.
fur cap?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, the fur cap.
You know, with the
Yep.
tail and
Yep.
and all the animal activists just at him, like, oh,
Yeah,
just
that's-
fucking into him.
Yeah, you
big
can't wear
time.
fur.
No, and so they interviewed him on Channel 7, I think, and they said, Prince Charles, because he was a prince back then, why were you wearing that hat? And he said, well, I was talking to Mummy, and I told her where I was going to Australia, and she said, well, whereabouts in Australia going? And he said, going to Wagga Wagga. Yeah. And she said, Wagga Wagga? Where the fuck's that?
Where the fuck's that?
It's very funny.
There you go. Someone wanted a joke, so they got a joke. Anyway, so we got stablemate questions. We're up to that now. Oh, no.
You got a shit dads first?
Oh, shit dad first, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sorry, mate.
I had a shit dad moment.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say... No, I'll just let you talk.
Is it gravy?
It's your podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the first one is different. So me and Zach, I drive him to school a lot.
Yes.
Most days.
Yeah.
And
painful. He puts his headphones in.
yeah. No, I have a rule. I don't. You're not. That's a pet hate of mine.
But doesn't he sneak one? We've talked about it.
Yeah,
on the
he
body.
tries to sneak one in.
That's the only reason we know.
But like, it's a pet hate of mine. I see a teenager in a car with like a mum or dad, and they got a fucking AirPods, and I say, no, I'm not. That's not happening.
Not
on
happening.
Watch.
Yeah.
Guys, we're talking. We're going to make
in.
conversation. You're going to sit there and like it.
Yeah. Why you like this, Dad?
Where was I going with that?
You're in the car with him.
By the way, my kids never put their headphones in their ears when they're in the car with me, so I think it might be just you.
Anyway, after a long day of
And the
school,
shit that comes
and
out of your
obviously
mouth.
long day of school, long day of work, I was like, "How's your day?" Or something. He was actually talking to me about something.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like a thought came to my head. I think it was Friday Arvo or something, and I just thought, fuck, I could do with a beer. But I verbalised that. Like while he's talking, I'm like,
What, mid-sentence?
yeah, mid-sentence. I'm like, God, I could use a beer.
Oh,
So we
wow.
often
Did he go, oh, is it what I'm saying that bad?
Yeah.
Oh, poor kid.
We often laugh about it now.
Oh, we laugh
Anyway, I
about
stepped
now.
it up on the weekend accidentally again.
Oh, no.
We're in the shops because I dragged him down to the shops on Saturday because we're having Mother's Day lunch. And he hadn't got a present for his mum, my wife. And I said, come on, mate, we're going to get a present and we'll shop for the Mother's Day lunch. Whatever. He dragged himself down, which he hates doing. He was just doing the shopping, so getting some roast meat and stuff. And I said, so we had to get gravy.
Yeah.
By the way, I've discovered. Have you guys discovered like the
I
pre-made?
knew this wasn't going to happen without a tangent.
Put in the microwave.
No, the pre-made gravy pouches.
Yeah.
Like the Gravox pre-mades.
Yeah.
Not the powder.
Yeah.
What do you
It's-
mean?
Yeah, you can
You
get.
just chuck it in the microwave.
I'm not familiar with how it gets warmed up.
No, you could put a cut in it and then put it in the microwave.
Yeah, has it got metal in it? That thing?
What?
The pouch.
No, the pouch got metal. No. Anyway, yeah.
So the
Not the
pouch
pouches
is
I've
not
been in.
pre-made gravy.
Pre-made
It's
gravy.
not powder mixed with
No,
water.
yeah, it's really, really nice. Really, really nice. Anyway,
How good's gravy
Yeah, it's good.
on mashed potato?
Exactly.
Oh.
So that is what the motivation for this next comment was, because how good is gravy? It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said,
Just-
I said to Zach, we got to get gravy, and he must have grumbled or something, and I said to him so quickly, I said, you get between me and my gravy, and I'll stab you.
I'll stab you.
Oh, wow.
And then I was immediately.
So now you are. So you've interrupted him to talk about a beer. So now you're an alcoholic who's going to stab him.
Yeah, so it just came out.
Shit, Dad.
It just came out. Then I had to backtrack.
What did he say?
Backtrack.
Did he
Let's
say
just rewind that.
What did he say? That's a little strong, Dad.
Yeah, we had a laugh about it.
Oh.
And then we came home. He told Aaron, and then the cousins
that
came
went
over the
down
next
well.
day. He told them. and then- Anyway, it was quite funny.
Oh,
but, yeah.
good work.
Dad said he was going to stab me over some gravy.
And then he was taunting me when the gravy was out on
With a
Mother's
knife.
Day. He like had the gravy and he was trying to get between me and it. Like he had the pouch of
You're
it.
going to stab me?
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Stab
do
me?
it.
What are you going to do? You're going to come over
You
to the
stand there
knife?
sharpening the knife on the steel.
Cops knock at the door.
Yeah,
Fucking
anyway.
hell.
Oh, yes.
All right.
So
It's sad.
How long we got, Benji?
About another 20.
Okay.
Couple of minutes.
We got some stable maker. We got some good ones
Staby
this week.
Q's.
Staby Q's.
Staby Q's. Keep them coming in.
Oh,
Pick your
funny.
pipe. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just put in the comments.
MySpace?
Send us a message. Not MySpace.
MySpace.
No, we don't have that. All right. All right. This is an interesting one. Who is your favourite? This is from stablemate Jack.
Jack.
Who is your favourite sports star of all time?
I think growing up was Wally, definitely Wally Lewis. Yeah, because he just was in Origin. It just and I'd have to say Wally. I did like Gary Rush in the sprint cars. He was like a 10-time sprint car Australian champion. And the first time I saw him race, there was like 20 cars out on the track, and they're all going at this one speed. And he's this other one just lapping everyone. We're like, holy fuck, that's fast. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
A couple of names going through my head. I've got Warney in my head. I've got Andrew Simons in my head. I've got Billy Slater in my head. But I reckon I'm going to go with... I've got Kieran Perkins in my head as well, that 1,500 metre.
Oh, that was awesome.
And the second time he did it with the bloody collapsed lung or whatever he had.
Yeah.
That'd be a moment, not athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's... I know I've extended this.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you then.
Okay.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because before we came tonight, Tash was asking me, have you got stablemate questions ready? And another one on the list, I read to her, and I said that exact moment, that Kieran Perkins, when he won from lane 8.
Yeah.
And the question was, what's your favourite professional sporting moment in history?
Yeah.
So we'll answer that one at the same time then, because I reckon it might be that Kieran Perkins.
Kieran Perkins, I often get quoted, or not by anyone, by me.
Fuck, we have to rewind that too.
And what that means is I often bring it back up ad nauseum.
I often get quoted as saying that my favourite sporting moment, and Kieran Perkins, that was bloody good.
Yeah.
But then there was when we qualified for the World Cup. That's right, that was great. But I reckon my favourite sporting moment, and I haven't even revealed my favourite sporting person yet, so we'll come back to that. I often get quoted as saying...
Ben did just say we've only got 20 minutes left.
My favourite sporting moment, I reckon, is when Andrew Simons put the shoulder on that streaker. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sam Kerr did that too recently.
Yeah, she did. Yep. I reckon Jonathan Thurston, I'm going to say, is my favourite sporting hero. Just great. Like, he's got us out of so many things, but just also a great guy.
Anything to do with his post-match commentary with his laugh. I loved the banter between him and Hindy.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good. So good. Benji?
I'm going to say Valentino Rossi in the MotoGP. Just such a great character.
Yeah.
There's one point where he won, I don't think it was a championship, he won something, some trophy, and he went and set up his own card table, like his own thing, and signed some own documents that I am the greatest. Like, it wasn't set up from he set up the whole thing by himself. And like even towards the end of his career, in the crowds, you just see his colour, because his colour is yellow.
Yeah.
So the whole crowd would be there to see him, even if he wasn't winning.
He was very popular.
Yeah, huge.
Yep.
And your favourite leggy professional sporting moment in history?
I like the Origin ones. That Mark Coyne try is up there.
Miracle.
I got
2 sets of hands.
Yeah. The Kathy Freeman at the Olympics. That was very awesome. Special. Yeah, that was like hairs on your neck kind of thing, and the build up for it and everything. You could just see the relief when she won it on her face.
Does she have something going on as well, like a sickness or something? She ran through it, or no? Am I imagining that?
I don't know. I don't think she was 100%.
She had the spacesuit on.
Yeah. Yep. There's a.
Didn't they ban that?
I got a few. There's a
in the swimming they banned it.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking.
There's a George Gregan try saver in the Union against the All Blacks. That was pretty cool and iconic. But I'd have to say Mark Coyne's try, or in 2006 it might have been.
Scott Sattler, you're going to say?
No, we were getting beaten by New South Wales in an Origin, and I think we kicked it, and they passed it, and then Lockyer hit the ground.
Hit the ground. Lockyer.
Was it Brett Hodgson passed it? No, Matt King to Brett Hodgson or something?
I think it was Luke Bailey was there or something, It
hit the ground, and Lockyer
just scooped it up.
At the line, grabbed
scooped it up.
And we'd had calls against us all game, and even Sterling and Gould are going, I can't believe they haven't called that a knock-on against New South Wales. So they were actually saying Queensland's getting robbed here, and then we come back and won it.
Yeah.
And that was the year that I think, who was coach, might have been Bennett, said, was it Mal? I think it was Mal Meninga, and he said, if Lockyer and Steve Price and Sivan Asiva don't perform, they were going to get dropped for the next game, and Lockyer did that, and then we won the third game and won the series. So
Yeah.
otherwise New South Wales would have won 4 in a row.
So many great Origin moments. There's Matty Bowen's
intercept.
try in extra time. There was.
I can't remember. I was at the game.
What about
game,
And the other one is when Nate Miles shit himself. That was fucking so good.
Luckiest field goal when I hit both posts. Was that Broncos? Or was that?
I think it was
Queensland?
Broncos. Yeah.
Did I just say a name before? I forgot it. Fuck. We rewind it. I had a moment. What were we just talking about?
All this
Hodgson
stuff,
and Luke
mate.
Bailey and Sivanasiva.
Gordon Tallis' tackle on Hodgson.
yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Where he just chuck him out like a little rag doll.
Yeah, that was good.
My favourite sports star of all time, I'm going to say Michael Jordan. Like, just his thirst for the win.
Yeah.
Like, I find the GOAT discussion in basketball to be a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like, anyone who thinks LeBron is anywhere near Michael Jordan, I'm going to make an outlandish statement. I actually think Kobe Bryant is a better basketballer than LeBron James.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, his will to win. Like, have you watched the Dream Team doco?
Yeah.
When like they were all out on the piss and they were coming home at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, and they'd bump into him in the foyer, bump into Kobe. Kobe was going to the gym.
Yeah.
He'd slept all night. He was going to the gym, ready to go.
I saw someone asked Jordan if he said the Bulls in their prime would beat the Lakers now in today's day, and he said, yeah, probably by about 2 or 3 points. And they're like, oh, why so little? And he says, well, most of us are in our 60s now.
That's very fucking good.
How good's that?
Cool. That was a doubler.
Yeah,
All
cool.
right, next one.
Can I just say...
Oh, yeah,
on
your
the footy,
podcast.
so Sivanasiva,
Yeah.
Petrol 7 Salida, what did you think of him? Because my observation of him, he was a big guy, so he had that going for him.
Yeah.
But for me, he didn't seem to try very hard.
No, he had the one speed. That was his
he
speed.
He just kind of just lazed up to the line, and he just knew he was so big they're just going to struggle to tackle me. But he didn't really actually rage his legs or push hard.
He just lumbered. That's because he's so big. That's how he ran. You know. Yeah. Oh, he was a great player. I remember. I think Razor tells a story great. He knew someone that was playing for Redcliffe in the juniors or something. A big all-in brawl started, and this was when Petro was like under 19s or something like that, and a big fight started. And then Petro come running in swinging and hit his own player in the back of the head. And he said, "Fella got hit in the back of the head by a fucking pumpkin."
That's quite specific.
He's so big. His head's so big.
That's great.
Yeah, classic.
Okay, next one.
Yep.
This is stablemate Nick. What's the worst thing you've consumed at the end of a night when you've been on the piss?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we'd have to go the vomited up sausage.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
Well, again, for you, I was going to say the varnished bread.
Yeah, there was that too.
Some bread on the counter at the servo, and he just munged into it. And I'm like,
that's been there for 7 years.
That's display. That's got varnish all over it.
I don't know. I guess they old Hero Burgers and Hero Roll from the servo.
They were great when you microwave them. The green and white packet and red.
Yeah, no, they weren't great.
Yeah, salmonella
I
fella.
can eat so much at 3 o'clock in the morning at a 7-Eleven.
Those hot dogs.
I could get through 4 sausage rolls. I can put away so much food at that point of the night, just soak it all up.
I think I got you covered with the
sausage,
the spewed up sausage. Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, the old 7-Eleven hot dog up at
Yeah.
Malulabar.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And you just go and make an absolute mess of that. You know, the employee would line them all up and get ready and just stuff like that.
Yes.
Tomato sauce packets
Very
Everywhere, yeah.
And the mustard.
All good.
This one's from stablemate Jason. This is a bit of a morbid one.
Oh, okay.
What celebrity death rocked you the most?
Steve Irwin was pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd say Irwin. Peter Brock was one.
Yeah, I reckon.
Warnie?
Warnie was tough.
Warnie's-
Simo was tough.
Simons was, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any of them affected me deeply, you know, like
Yeah.
selfishly disappointed, I suppose. Like, you don't know the person, you're more disappointed that you're not going to get to be entertained by them anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
Like-
Steve Irwin's probably the one that was biggest. It felt the biggest, but I think Simo probably, like, even though Warney was big,
Yeah.
I think Simo affected me the most because I liked him. Like, he was a
Yeah.
larrikin, and
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt like you knew him.
Warney was as well, but like
Yeah.
just because he was a Queenslander and he
Yeah.
wanted to play for the Broncos, and you just felt like he had those touch points with his life.
Yeah. Sean Locke from 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, the comedian. He's a funny bastard.
Yeah, that was that one.
That one, yeah, that
Norm
was.
MacDonald. That was a shocker.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
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 Yes. And
Yeah.
who was the other big one?
There was Chris Farley when he died in.
No, real recently. I'll remember shortly. Oh, Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
from
that
Foo
one.
Yeah,
Fighters.
that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not personally affected, but disappointed
Yeah.
that you don't get to see him anymore.
Yeah.
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 If you get a chance to watch that concert for
Yeah.
Taylor, it's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one. Why do I keep forgetting things?
I don't know. You forget
Um,
everything.
Oh,
Yeah, you haven't been great tonight, eh?
it was like,
Bit of prep.
well, I can't prepare for the
You could for the
random
rest of
questions that are going.
it. Your thinking is off.
Oh, Heath Ledger, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a bad one because he had a lot left in him. Like, he
Yeah.
had a lot of
Yeah.
performances. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I love Two Hands, that movie.
What do you reckon it is? Because I'm less affected by actors than I am sports people. Like, because there was Paul Walker as well. That one was quite a big deal. But I don't know. It's something about sports stars. I
Yeah.
feel like it affects me a little bit more personally.
Do you want me
Yeah,
to give you the big ones from last year? The guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Which
Oh
one?
yeah,
Andre-
Holt.
Oh,
Raymond
yeah,
Holt,
yeah.
he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
was good.
Matthew Perry,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
big last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Norm MacDonald, as we mentioned before. Quite a few big ones there. Tina Turner, Sinead O'Connor, and Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah, wow.
Is it possible that the actors and stuff seem to be more likely to be like just their life is in disarray, whereas the sports stars are
I wonder if it's
intact
because you,
and like kind of
Oh,
got
I
their
guess
life
you-
together? I
you
don't know.
might
That
be
could
more
be fake
connected
stuff.
to
when you're
sport.
an actor, you're connected to a character rather than the real
True.
person. Like with Paul Walker, it was a Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah.
And you only know him as that. It's not
Yeah.
Paul Walker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be.
Yeah. All right, that was quite a morbid one. Thanks
Okay.
for bringing down the potty, Jason. You fucking idiot. All right,
Wow.
let's lift it.
Oh, yeah.
How many hole-in-ones have you had?
Oh, God. You wrote this one.
Stablemate Chris. No, stablemate Bradley. How many hole-in-ones have you had? Scott, you go first.
Yeah, look. Maybe it's the graphite shafts talking. Yeah, none yet. None yet.
None.
None yet.
No. I've had an
Man,
eagle,
none.
though.
Ben?
How many have you got, Chris?
Nah, we don't need to talk about it.
Okay, good. Let's move on.
Three.
What's the next one?
Three.
Three hole-in-ones.
Yeah, okay. Can we talk about
Thank
how
you,
many
Bradley.
games of golf you've played versus how many I've played?
I know so many amazing golfers that have never had one, so you can...
Yeah, Leroy only recently
Am
just
I
got
one of
one.
Yeah,
Couple
and it was the ugliest shot in the history of the world. He absolutely axed it.
Yeah.
Am I one of the amazing golfers?
No, you're fucking shit.
Cool.
Okay, here's got time, Ben.
Yeah, last one.
What's the worst part about being an adult? From stablemate Lisa.
Oh. Bills for me at the moment and the cost of everything.
Yeah.
That's like,
Responsibility.
yeah, all of those things and that.
Having to think too far ahead. Like being sensible. Like,
A moment for me, like when we got our dog,
Budgeting.
When we, after we got married, when we got our dog, that was a real turning point for me because, like, we were out to dinner. That was the first time where you're like,
You're
fuck, that's
restricted.
right. We have
You're
to be
restricted.
home to feed that dog, make sure it doesn't die, put it to bed, all that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was, like,
taste.
obviously kids are 100 times worse than that, but that was the moment for me where I'm like, oh, we can't be selfish anymore.
Yeah. I actually remember that feeling when we had our first child.
Yeah.
Like that actual realization. And when we got home from the hospital and like, yeah, I actually remember where I was
Yeah.
thinking that
It dawned on you.
Yeah.
Delta Dawn.
Do you know what the feeling was that dawned on me was people kept saying this is going to be a life-changing thing when you have a kid and all that kind of stuff. But when it happens, you're like, okay, that's life-changing. Like, we absolutely can't operate in any way the way we did before this.
Yeah, it took me a while to realise I just can't pop out to KFC. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. Erin was at work, the kid's asleep. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I just sit here and angrily wait.
Can I sing that? Can I
Without a zinger.
sing the Delta Dawn song?
Which one?
Do it.
Delta Dawn, wrap your
Since you just heard a beep, the audience.
some music there, please.
Oh dear.
All right, that's it. Episode 31, done and dusted.
In the can.
Thank you very much and good much.
I think, sorry.
Will? Okay. Okay.
He's not even done yet.
I think
You're going to have to say thank you very much and good much again.
one of the
No,
indicators
you
of
can
being
do
an
it.
adult, which I'm really disappointed in myself about. Did we talk about this already in the podcast?
Oh, probably.
The job interview that I had, that I was
Part of.
part of the candidate was interviewing with us, and
Not that one. You can't say that.
not that one.
Are you talking about what I think would...
So, but I'm only telling this to get to another point about being an adult. So, we had a job interview with a candidate recently, and we're just talking about whatever, and then she took a sip of her coffee, and I noticed it was a Seinfeld mug. And I said, "Oh, you see Seinfeld? Yeah, you like Seinfeld?" And she's like, "Yeah, I really like Seinfeld." And then she, behind me, just in the corner, I didn't mean to do this. I had my bass guitar just on a guitar stand,
Right.
and she made a comment, maybe a little bit later. She said, "Oh, is that a bass guitar behind you?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "Oh, I've actually been learning the Seinfeld theme song." And then,
Subtle.
anyway, and there's another guy in the interview as well. And she goes, "Oh, play it." And that was the moment I realised that I'm an adult now. Because I reckon 6 months earlier, I would have gone, all right, and then in a job interview, got the bass guitar out
And played it.
and played it.
Maybe a month earlier.
Yeah, maybe
6 months.
maybe the very previous day.
Yes, you would have.
Now, while he says he's an adult, that particular candidate did get the job.
Right.
And she started today.
Oh, really?
Now, I had onboarding meetings with her all morning this morning, and I get a fucking message from this cockhead over here this morning saying, has she mentioned the bass guitar?
No, I'm not that grown up.
You did control yourself.
So that's the moment.
That's the worst thing about being an adult, that I had to
Stopped
think,
yourself.
like, I stopped myself because I thought, this is really unprofessional. I can't be seen to be doing this.
Yeah.
That's the most disappointing thing about being an adult, not just doing that, not just getting the fucking bass guitar
Yeah.
out because I wanted
Not
to.
giving a shit anymore. It'll come back around. It will.
All right,
Yeah.
say the line again.
Oh, no, you say it.
Thanks very night and good morning.
All right, see you soon.
Fuck me.
Can we talk about that?